Welcome to the Wisdom Tribe. If you are here, it is because you have been chosen by God Himself to be part of this tribe, one of the few set apart to receive the blessing within this message. You are not here by chance. You are here by divine calling. This word is not for the crowd. It is for the chosen, and if your spirit feels this, it is because heaven is confirming that you are the curse breaker in your bloodline. You are the one that your ancestors prayed for. You are the one that hell fears. You are the one God marked to end cycles that destroyed those before you. And today, I will show you why your journey has been so heavy, because your mantle is great. Before we go any further, if your spirit is feeling this word, type 7 in the comments right now. That number is not random, it represents divine completion, the breaking of cycles and the sealing of new beginnings. When you type it, you are declaring in faith that the curse ends with you, that the bloodline bondage is broken, and that your family's story shifts from generational pain to generational blessing. This is not just a number, it is a prophetic act. It is you saying, I am the one God has chosen to stand in the gap. I am the curse breaker. I am the one that shifts everything for those who come after me. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the Wisdom Tribe, and stay with me until the very end of this message, because God is about to confirm that your role as the deliverer in your bloodline is real, unstoppable, and undeniable. Let's begin. Chapter 1. The pattern ends with you, chosen one. Hear this truth with your spirit wide open. Every family carries unseen baggage. Every bloodline carries invisible chains. And if you look closely, you'll notice the patterns, cycles that repeat like broken records. Some families carry a cycle of divorce where no marriage seems to last. Others carry a cycle of poverty where no matter how hard they work, wealth slips through their hands. Some families carry addiction, where one generation after another drowns in the same poison. Others carry sickness, illnesses that seem hereditary but are actually spiritual chains dressed as medical facts. And then there is rejection, cycles where no one seems to stay, where abandonment becomes a familiar shadow to every child born into the line. You didn't imagine these things. You're not overthinking. These are not just bad luck. These are on spiritual chains, patterns rooted in curses spoken long before you were even born. Someone in your bloodline opened a door. Someone came into agreement with darkness. Someone bowed to fear, greed, lust, idolatry, or bitterness. And the enemy claimed legal right to flow that curse through the generations. What you are seeing is not random. It is spiritual law being enforced. But this is where your story changes. Because while others may not have had the strength, the awareness, or the divine anointing to stop it, you do. Hear me again. You do. The curse may have reached you, but it cannot continue through you. The cycle ends here. The pattern stops now. You are not just a member of your family. You are the chosen one, the curse breaker, the bloodline reformer. You were born for this very assignment. Heaven looked at the story of your lineage and said, "It will not end in bondage. It will end in blessing. And the one who will carry that mantle is you." Think about Moses. For 400 years, Israel was locked in slavery, generation after generation born into chains. But when Moses rose up under God's anointing, he declared to Pharaoh, "Let my people go." He broke what his ancestors could not. He didn't just free himself, he freed his entire nation. Think about Joseph. His brothers betrayed him, sold him, and left him for dead. But instead of being destroyed, he rose into Pharaoh's palace. And when famine came, Joseph broke the cycle by becoming the provision for his family. His pain became the doorway to their survival. Think about Jesus. For generations, sin and death reigned unchecked. But when Christ came, he didn't just live for himself, he gave his life to break the ultimate cycle of sin, hell, and the grave. And because he rose, we rise. Chosen one, you carry that same spirit. You are not ordinary. That's why you felt more pressure than others. That's why you've been attacked more than others. That's why your battles have been so intense. They were never just about you. The enemy has been trying to stop the one God anointed to stop him. But hear this clearly. You are standing in the place of divine interruption. What enslaved your parents will not enslave you. What destroyed your grandparents will not destroy you. What has claimed generation after generation has met its end at your feet. Because of your obedience, because of your surrender, because of your faith, the blood of Jesus flowing through you has snapped every hidden chain. And understand this: when a curse breaks, a blessing begins. The moment you said yes to God, the atmosphere shifted. Where there was poverty, there will now be provision. Where there was addiction, there will now be freedom. Where there was sickness, there will now be healing. Where there was rejection, there will now be divine acceptance and love. Your obedience today is rewriting tomorrow. Your surrender is not just protecting your own soul. It is securing the inheritance of generations you will never even meet. Children yet unborn will walk in freedom because of the decision you made to stop the cycle. Chosen one, don't minimize what you're carrying. You are the first in your bloodline to say, "It ends here." And heaven is backing your declaration. The angels of the Lord are enforcing your stand. The blood of Jesus is sealing your words. The curse ends with you, and the blessing begins with you. Chapter 2. The reason you suffered more. Chosen one, have you ever asked yourself, why me? Why do I suffer more than others? Why did rejection shadow your steps from childhood? Why did people you trusted betray you when you gave your love freely? Why did life feel like a series of battles, each one heavier than the last, each one testing you in ways that seemed unfair? Listen carefully, because this is the heart of your assignment. You suffered more because you were chosen for a greater purpose. The enemy knew your destiny before you did. Long before you were aware of your calling, he recognized your potential to break the chains that had bound your family for generations. He saw that you were marked, set apart, and anointed to be the curse breaker, and he feared it. That's why he tried to stop you before your breakthrough could arrive. That's why he worked tirelessly to sow pain, rejection, and betrayal in your life. He sent financial struggles to test your faith. He brought sickness to challenge your resolve. He planted heartbreak to see if your spirit could rise. He whispered lies of inadequacy, hoping you would give up and allow the generational curses to continue flowing through your bloodline. But what the enemy didn't understand is that every trial was a divine tool in your hands. Every heartbreak was shaping your empathy. Every betrayal was teaching you discernment. Every loss was preparing you to step into authority. Every lonely moment was an opportunity for your faith to grow stronger than fear. Each wound carried a hidden seed of purpose, and each tear watered the garden of your destiny. You are not weak because you suffered. You are powerful because you endured. The pain, the struggle, the long nights of doubt, they were not signs of failure. They were signs that God was crafting a warrior, a deliverer, a chosen one who could stand where others fell. You were being refined like gold in the fire, stripped of fear, pride, and distraction, leaving only a heart pure enough to carry the assignment God gave you. And understand this: your suffering was never just for you. Every trial you faced was breaking legal ground for generations to come. While others may have remained bound, while others may have continued in the cycle of pain, your endurance created a spiritual opening for freedom. Your struggles became the blueprint of victory, the map others can now follow to escape what held them captive. Chosen one, the attacks, the betrayals, and the heartbreaks were not signs of rejection. They were markers of divine selection. They were God's way of saying, "You are the one I will use to break the chains no one else could." The suffering was proof that you are not ordinary. The intensity of the trials proves the magnitude of your assignment. So when you feel weak, remember this: the reason you suffered more is because you are carrying what others could not handle. You were prepared in secret for a purpose so vast, so powerful, and so holy that no ordinary life could contain it. You were being equipped to step into a mantle that will bless not just your own life, but the generations that follow. Chosen one. The enemy thought he could stop you. He thought he could silence the voice that was born to declare freedom. He thought he could bury you in pain. But what he didn't know is that in every battle became your training ground. Every loss became your lesson, and every tear became the river that nourishes your victory. And now as you rise, your suffering will transform into testimony. The wounds you once hid will become your strength. The battles you survived will become your authority. And the pain you endured will become the power you release to break curses, heal families, and lead others into freedom. You did not suffer for nothing. You suffered because you were chosen. You suffered because you were marked. You suffered because you are the curse breaker, and your life is the key to liberation for your bloodline. Chapter 3. Heaven chose you, not them. Think about this carefully. God could have chosen anyone in your family. He could have placed this assignment on your brother, your sister, your cousin, or even your parents. He could have chosen someone with more influence, more resources, or more recognition. But he didn't. He chose you, not because you were perfect. Not because you were the strongest, not because you were the smartest, the richest, or the most popular. Heaven's choice is never about appearances or worldly qualifications. It is always about the readiness of your spirit. It is about the heart that says yes to God, even when it doesn't make sense, even when it costs you comfort, popularity, or understanding. Even when it hurts, even when it feels unfair, you chose God, and that choice made all the difference. Think of Joseph, the youngest son, despised and overlooked by his own brothers. They couldn't see his purpose, but God could. He was chosen not because he was the obvious heir, but because he had the patience, resilience, and faith to endure the trials that would prepare him for greatness. Your journey is much the same. The mantle skipped over the obvious candidates because the one who bears it must be willing to stand when no one else can. Think of David, the shepherd boy forgotten by his family, overlooked by a kingdom, but chosen because he was faithful when no one was watching. The overlooked, the underestimated, the quiet ones. These are often the ones who carry the greatest power, the greatest destiny. Faithfulness in obscurity is what prepares you to shine in prominence. Think of Esther, raised up for such a time as this, placed in a position where her courage would decide the fate of a nation. She wasn't the easiest choice. She wasn't the one with the loudest voice or the most influence. But she had a heart willing to risk everything for the deliverance of her people. Like her, you were chosen for a purpose far greater than comfort or safety. Your obedience matters more than your visibility. The mantle skipped others and fell on you. You may have felt overlooked, underestimated, or even rejected by those around you, but rejection from men does not disqualify you from the call of heaven. The curse breaker is never the obvious choice, but they are always the obedient one. You were chosen because your spirit aligns with heaven's plan, because your willingness to say yes when it hurts is what sets you apart, and because your faithfulness will open doors that no human hand can unlock. Chosen one, understand this. God does not make mistakes. Your life, your path, your trials, and even your pain were all designed to place you exactly where you need to be. Others may question why you were chosen. They may mock or misunderstand your assignment, but know this: heaven did not hesitate. You are not a mistake, and you are not a replacement. You are the chosen vessel for a purpose only you could fulfill. This is why heaven chose you, not them. And the world will soon see what your obedience can do when combined with the favor and power of God. Chapter 4. Your obedience is the key. Chosen one, hear this with all your heart. Curses do not break by chance. Generational chains do not shatter by wishful thinking or by luck. True freedom, true breakthrough is unlocked only through obedience. Every act of submission, every moment you choose God over comfort is a spiritual key. Turning locks the enemy never thought you would reach. Every time you say no to temptation, you are breaking chains. Every time you resist the whisper of fear, doubt, or pride, you are dismantling strongholds that have held your family captive for decades. Every time you pray when exhaustion tempts you to quit, every time you rise when others fall, every time you choose forgiveness instead of bitterness, every time you honor God when it's inconvenient, you are breaking chains. The enemy trembles at consistent obedience. It is the silent, invisible force that disrupts his plans, one faithful act at a time. Do not underestimate the seemingly small choices you make daily. They are not small in the eyes of heaven. The words you speak, the thoughts you guard, the actions you take when no one is watching, these carry eternal consequences. Your obedience does not merely open doors for your own life, it opens doors for generations to come. That is why your life feels heavy, why the pressure is relentless, why the trials seem endless. You were never meant to live for yourself alone. You are carrying the weight of destinies yet unborn. Consider Abraham. His obedience in leaving his homeland birthed nations. Consider Noah. His obedience in building the ark preserved humanity itself. Consider Mary. Her obedience brought forth the Savior of the world. Each of them faced doubt, delay, ridicule, and hardship, but their willingness to submit completely to God's call changed the course of history. And your obedience, chosen one, will do the same. It will shatter generational curses. It will establish doors of favor, wealth, and influence that no one else could open. It will make your bloodline proud for generations yet to come. Your obedience may feel unseen. Your sacrifices may feel unnoticed. The tests may feel unbearable. Yet every moment you endure, every act of faithfulness, every choice of righteousness over comfort is being recorded in heaven. Every tear you shed in silence, every struggle you endure without complaint, every prayer whispered in private, all of it matters. Heaven is marking your life, preparing a harvest from the seeds you sow in obedience. Obedience is the key that opens every locked door. It is the power behind every miracle, the force behind every breakthrough, the weapon that destroys the enemy's grip on your life. You may not see the results immediately, but rest assured every act of faithfulness is multiplying in the unseen realm. Every chain broken in the spiritual world will eventually manifest in the physical world. Your obedience is not only for you, it is for your family, your community, your bloodline, and the generations that will rise after you. Chosen one, never underestimate the power of a life fully surrendered. The key to your destiny is not cleverness, influence, or human connections. It is found in obedience. Stay faithful when it is hard. Stand firm when the path is unclear. Keep choosing God when the world encourages compromise. Your obedience is breaking chains. Your obedience is shifting destinies. Your obedience is establishing a legacy that will echo for generations. The enemy may try to discourage you, friends may misunderstand you, and even your own strength may waver, but the hand of heaven is on you. Every act of obedience you commit is a note in a divine symphony that is preparing to play the victory of your life. You are chosen, and obedience is the key that unlocks the fullness of your purpose. Remember, heaven is not looking for perfection. Heaven is looking for willingness. Heaven is not calling the strongest, it is calling the faithful. And your faithfulness expressed through obedience will not only break every chain in your life, it will light the path for everyone who follows. Chapter 5. The Weight of Being Different. Chosen one, being the curse breaker is not easy. It comes with a weight that few can understand, a burden that feels heavy on your spirit and soul. It means you will always feel different, even in places where everyone else seems the same. Your thoughts, your actions, and your heart will not align with the ordinary. You will be misunderstood by those closest to you, spoken about in ways that sting, and sometimes even rejected by the very people you love most. The path of a curse breaker is lonely, and the world may never fully recognize your purpose. You may find that those you are sent to help resist you. They may doubt you, question your motives, or even fight against you. This is not unusual, chosen one. It is a pattern as old as time. Think of Moses, chosen to lead an entire nation out of bondage, yet the Israelites initially rejected him. They questioned him, grumbled against him, and doubted his leadership. They complained about the very one God had sent to deliver them. Yet Moses persisted, knowing that God's calling was greater than the temporary rejection of men. Every step he took in obedience, every miracle he performed was a reminder that heaven's approval matters far more than human acceptance. Think of Joseph, sold into slavery by his own brothers, falsely accused, imprisoned, and overlooked for years. He could have given up, he could have become bitter, but he didn't. His obedience, patience, and integrity positioned him to save entire nations from famine. His brothers thought they had destroyed him, but God was elevating him for a greater purpose. Every trial, every moment of isolation was refining him for the mantle he would one day carry. Think of Jesus, despised and rejected by the very people he came to save. He faced mockery, betrayal, and even death at the hands of those he loved most. Yet he endured because his mission was greater than human approval. Every insult, every act of rejection, every trial was evidence that he was fulfilling the destiny he was born for. Chosen one, understand this. Rejection is not a sign that you are wrong. It is proof that you are chosen. Those who challenge you, misunderstand you, or oppose you are simply confirming that your path is not ordinary. You were not called to blend in. You were called to stand out. You were not created to continue the cycle of pain, limitation, or complacency. You were born to break it. Being different carries weight because it requires courage every single day. It requires patience when no one recognizes your efforts. It requires faith when the path is unclear. It requires endurance when your own heart grows weary. But the very differences that make you stand apart are the differences that make you strong. They are the marks of a life chosen by heaven. Your uniqueness is not a curse, it is a calling. The struggles you face, the misunderstandings, the loneliness, the criticism, they are all refining you. They are shaping you into someone capable of carrying the mantle God has placed on your life. The enemy will always try to convince you that being different is a burden, that standing out is a mistake, or that obedience will cost you too much. But remember, the cost of obedience is always far less than the cost of compromise. Every act of courage, every moment you stand alone, every time you choose righteousness over comfort is a declaration to the spiritual realm. I am chosen. I am faithful. I will fulfill the purpose God placed on my life. Heaven is taking note. Angels are standing guard over you. Every tear, every sacrifice, every moment of rejection is being transformed into a weapon of victory for your life and for your generations. Chosen one, embrace the weight of being different. Wear it like a crown, not a chain. Stand firm when others try to pull you down. Keep moving forward when the world pushes back. Your life is not meant to be ordinary. You were born to break curses, change destinies, and leave a legacy that will echo long after the world forgets the critics. You are not alone, even when it feels like you are. Heaven walks with you. Every act of faith, every choice to obey, every moment you rise above rejection is witnessed by God Himself. And in the fullness of time, the very people who rejected you will see what God accomplished through your obedience and courage. They will recognize that the difference they once feared was the difference that changed everything. Chapter 6. Your blessings will speak for you. Chosen one, hear this clearly. The day is coming when the curses that have stolen, limited, and destroyed your family for generations will no longer touch you. The poverty that bound your ancestors will now bow before you, replaced with abundance that cannot be contained or measured. The sickness, weakness, and frailty that plagued those who came before you will be replaced with divine health, strength, and vitality. An unshakable force flowing through your body. The rejection, ridicule, and dishonor you faced will be turned into honor, respect, and recognition. Not just for you, but for everyone connected to your life and your legacy. God is about to establish you so powerfully that there will be no way to explain your rise without acknowledging Him. People will see it, feel it, and know that this is not luck. It is not coincidence. It is not chance. It is the hand of God moving through your life. And when they ask how it happened, your testimony will shake the heavens and the earth. I am the curse breaker. God used me to stop what was destroying us. Your blessings are not meant to be small, ordinary, or hidden. They are monumental. They are designed to overflow. Every promotion, every opportunity, every favor that comes into your life is not just for your personal gain. It is meant to lift and elevate everyone connected to you. Every act of obedience, every tear you have shed, every trial you endured in faith is multiplying unseen, accumulating as a spiritual harvest that will explode into your life at the appointed time. Think of Joseph. The famine that was meant to destroy his family became the platform for him to feed nations. The very thing that appeared as devastation, betrayal, and injustice became the stage for God's glory to manifest. Your life, chosen one, is no different. The struggles, betrayals, and hardships you have endured are being transformed into testimonies that will speak louder than any accusation, louder than any doubt, louder than any attempt of the enemy to silence you. Your blessings will speak for you when your enemies speak against you. They will testify when doubt arises. They will shine so brightly that no human power or scheme can overshadow them. Your favor will ripple across generations. Your testimony will be proof that God's plans never fail, that obedience yields eternal results, and that heaven's favor is unstoppable. Every area that has been delayed, blocked, or stolen will now be released. Every opportunity withheld will now multiply. Every generational limitation that tried to hold back your bloodline will now become a doorway for your descendants to inherit abundance, blessing, and divine elevation. God is taking the very things meant to harm you, every betrayal, every failure, every delay, and turning them into tools of blessing, expansion, and purpose that will leave your family and generations forever changed. Your life is not just for yourself. Your blessings are prophetic. They are a declaration to the spiritual realm that chains are broken, curses are reversed, and the bloodline is set free. People around you and those yet unborn will witness your life and recognize the unmistakable hand of God. Your testimony will inspire faith in the hopeless, hope in the broken, and courage in the weary. The life you live, the blessings you manifest, and the testimonies you create will serve as proof that God's plans are never thwarted. Chosen one, prepare yourself. God is about to make your life a living declaration that the curse breaker has risen, that obedience leads to elevation, and that heaven's favor cannot be denied. Your blessings will speak before you ever open your mouth. They will testify before you ever explain yourself. They will change the course of destinies, shift generational trajectories, and redefine what is possible for those who follow in your footsteps. And when the world sees it, there will be no doubt left. This is not luck. This is not chance. This is God, and you were faithful enough, brave enough, and obedient enough to be His instrument. Your rise will be undeniable. Your favor will be unshakable. Your testimony will echo through generations. Chapter 7. A legacy rewritten. Chosen one. Hear this clearly. You are not just fighting for yourself. You are fighting for your children, your grandchildren, and for generations you will never meet. Every sacrifice you have made, every tear you have shed, every act of obedience and faithfulness, It is all being recorded in heaven as part of a divine plan far greater than your own life. Because of your obedience, they will never know the struggles you endured. They will inherit freedom instead of bondage. They will walk in opportunities you never had. They will experience blessing instead of limitation, favor instead of rejection, and joy instead of sorrow. Where your family name was once associated with shame, it will now carry honor. Where your bloodline was once known for brokenness, it will now be known for blessing. Where curses once ruled, legacy will now reign. The chains that bound your ancestors will be shattered. The generational patterns of limitation, fear, and failure will be rewritten through your obedience, your perseverance, and your faith. What was once a family history of defeat will now be remembered as a story of victory, courage, and divine intervention. You are not just a survivor, you are a pioneer. You are charting paths that no one in your lineage has ever walked. You are breaking ceilings that generations before you could only dream of. You are walking in divine strategy, and every step you take is preparing a way for those who come after you. Your life is not just a personal journey. It is a prophetic roadmap for your family, your community, and even nations. You are not just chosen. You are anointed. Heaven has placed its hand on your life to accomplish what others could not. Every trial you endured, every rejection you faced, every moment of testing was preparing you to carry a mantle of change that will ripple far beyond what you can see. History will remember your name not for the pain you endured, but for the victory you achieved. It will remember your life not for the trials, but for the legacy you established. Imagine generations yet unborn looking back and saying, "Here is where the curse broke. Here is where freedom began. Here is where God raised up a chosen one to change everything." They will walk in doors that were previously closed. They will carry honor that was once denied. They will enjoy blessing that was once impossible. And it will all be because you were faithful, because you obeyed, because you carried the weight of being different when others could not. Chosen one, understand this: the legacy you are rewriting is not temporary. It is eternal. It is spiritual as much as it is physical. It will echo in your children's children and in the generations that follow. The impact of your life will be seen in the ways families are healed, communities are lifted, and destinies are restored. The chains you break today will be felt for decades, and the freedom you create will shine like a beacon of hope for all who follow in your footsteps. You are the turning point. You are the divine intervention. You are the chosen vessel through which God will demonstrate that curses can be broken, oppression can be overcome, and blessing can be multiplied. You are the evidence that obedience, faith, and courage matter more than any circumstance, any limitation, or any challenge. So rise, chosen one. Stand tall. Walk boldly. Your life is not just your own. It is a living testimony, a prophetic declaration, and a foundation upon which generations will build. Every act of obedience, every tear, every moment of perseverance has brought you to this point. And now, heaven is ready to honor your faithfulness. When history looks back, it will say of you, "Here is where the curse broke. Here is where freedom began. Here is where God raised up a chosen one to change everything." Your legacy is being rewritten. Your bloodline is being elevated.